Hi everyone, I'm Xinfeng Li. I will present the paper Omni-MMSI towards Identity Attributed Social Interaction Understanding. It's accepted by CVPR 2026. I would like to thank all authors for their help and contribution for this work. In this paper, we introduce a new task, Omni-MMSI. Given a sound video with multiple participants, the user can ask whom the last speaker is speaking to. To answer the question, the system is required to perceive who is speaking what and infer whom the speaker refers to. These capabilities are essential for enabling AI assistants that can perceive, listen over, and respond to human interactions in social scenarios. In this case, the system first extracts identity attributed verbal and nonverbal social cues, such as chronological utterances, to indicate who speaks what, and bounding boxes to indicate who is where. Then, the system analyzes these identity attributed social cues to infer the social interaction, like based on the turn taken in the dialogue and consistent mutual gaze, player 4's utterances is directed toward player 2. In prior studies, individual attributed social cues are perfectly provided, typically via oracle preprocessing. Then, the model operates on the oracle input to reason about social interaction. In contrast, Omni-MMSI requires the model only relying on role input. This task better aligns with real-world deployment, where AI assistants must understand social interactions from raw data input, including perceiving social cues and reasoning the social interaction. Evaluations show identity attribution of Omni-MMSI is challenging in multi-party scenes, where people show subtle movements and their voices also sound alike, with a lot of overlap. First, the off-the-shelf extractors that can be used in earlier studies were designed for single-person scenarios and fail to handle the crucial attribution step. Second, while Omni-MMMs demonstrate strong cue extraction on raw audio-video input, they still struggle to correctly associate these cues with individuals across modalities. For example, advanced LLMs, Gemini 2.5 Pro, often assign speech content or bounding boxes to wrong identity. Such weak multimodal association results in inaccurate social cues, ultimately degrading social interaction reasoning. To tackle this challenge, we propose Omni-MMSIR, a LLM-based pipeline that utilizes references to guide identity attribution. Our key insight is that humans remember the appearances and voice of familiar people, and readily associate their gestures or speech with these memories when interpreting social interactions. In practical use, these references are usually easy to collect on devices through the enrollment or verification processes. Therefore, given a query audio-video segment, the system retrieves reference audio-vision pairs and represents each individual and leverages the references to guide social interaction understanding. For research study, we curate references for each sample. To extract social cues, we leverage tools to help detect social cues and associate them with reference identities. To perceive who speaks what, Whisper transcribes the query audio, and Speech Brain performs speaker diarization by matching the utterance audio and each reference voice. To perceive where they are, Euro detects all visible participants in the last frame of the query video, and OSNet performs person re-ID for each detected bounding boxes. We visualize the extracted social cues between Gemini 2.5 Pro and our approach Omni-MMSIR. Gemini 2.5 Pro often misattributes utterances to incorrect visual identities, leading to wrong referent predictions. While Omni-MMSI accurately aligns both verbal and nonverbal cues with individual references, yielding reliable identity-attributed social cues for social interaction understanding. We also evaluate verbal and nonverbal attribution accuracy between different advanced Omni-LLMs. Omni-MMSI substantially outperforms strong Omni-LLMs, improving the average attribution accuracy on Eagle4D and YouTube. It demonstrates that Omni-MMSI benefits from reference guidance and tool usage. Note that for LLMs without references, participants' identities are deterministically defined by spatial ordering in the system prompt. After social cue extraction, the model, Queen 2.5 Omni 7B, fine-tuned with LoRa, then performs train of thought reasoning. First, confirming the last speaker from audio, vision, and speech evidence. And second, inferring the speaker's referent by integrating verbal cues such as matching the authors with prior dialogue, and nonverbal interaction signals, including mutual eye contact or pointing. Then the model obtains a final answer. The last speaker, player 2, speaking to player 3. For training, we curate chain of thought reasoning traces. We evaluate social interaction understanding of different pipelines. Omni-MMSI achieves state-of-the-art performance, reaching 43% on Eagle4D and 47% on YouTube. Relative to the runner-up, Gemini 2.5 Pro, Omni-MMSI improves the average accuracy by 5% on Eagle4D and 2% on YouTube. These results confirm that explicit reference guidance, including using tools and chain of thought reasoning, greatly strengthens multimodal social interaction understanding. We work on two social interaction tasks, speaking target identification and pronoun coreference resolution, across two social data sets, Eagle4D and YouTube. Speaking target identification aims to identify who the current speaker is talking to when the speaker says you and your. Pronoun coreference resolution focuses on resolving which participant a third-person pronoun refers to when the speaker says he, she, him, her, or his. For YouTube, we construct 41 individual audio-image pairs as references, 2124 COT traces for STI, and 1935 for PCR. For Eagle4D, we construct 28 individual audio-image pairs as references, 521 COT traces for STI, and 321 for PCR. Here is an example of Omni-MMSI on speaking target identification.
You know what you can ask?
Hypothetically, speaking.
Wait, it will prove my innocence if I said I did as well.
If you said you did what?
The last speaker, player 3, is referring to player 2. The decisive cues are the directed conversational follow-up. Player 3's question clarifies player 2's preceding statement, and the mutual eye contact between player 3 and player 2. Here is an example of Omni-MMSI on pronoun coreference resolution.
I don't have a good answer for this. Because,
Yeah.
I don't have a good answer.
Okay, well. Wait,
Oh shit, but if he's the tanner.
he might be the tanner.
How would
what
I
is
be
your-
the tanner? She was.
The last speaker, player 3, is referring to player 2. The verbal context of a direct rebuttal combined with the unambiguous gesture from player 3 towards player 2 makes it clear. The conclusions are, first, we propose a new problem, Omni-multi-party multimodal social interaction understanding, which requires understanding on raw data input. To facilitate the task, we curate references and reasoning traces on top of existing datasets. Second, references help identity attribution in multi-party situations. Third, need specific tools for extracting multimodal social cues. Fourth, chain of thought reasoning traces improve the reliability and accuracy. Fifth, we conduct extensive experiments on two tasks across two datasets, demonstrating the effectiveness of Omni-MMSI. Thank you.